Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for calling my ex-wife a crazy bee for trying to break our daughter and her boyfriend up so that she can start dating the boyfriend's dad? My 45 male, ex 35 female, and I have a daughter, Alana, 16 female. Alana has been dating Eric, 18 male, for about 8 months now. Things have been going well for them. My ex is active in Alana's school community and recently met Eric's dad, 44 male, at a recent school function. From what I understand, they hit it off and were moving in the direction of seeing each other. That is, until Eric's dad found out that my ex is the mother of his son's girlfriend. He thought things would be weird and awkward if they started dating, so he made it clear to my ex that that was no longer a possibility. And why? My ex did not take it well. According to what Alana told me later, her mom came home drunk one night and started mumbling at her about how she was a burden who always ruined her happiness. The next day, ex either didn't remember or pretended not to remember and thanked Alana for taking care of her when she was drunk. But it didn't take long before my ex started telling Alana how she didn't think Eric was right for her. They've got a 2-year age gap and it will be separated for at least that long when he goes to college. And that it would be better to break it off now. Alana was upset and they got into a fight bad enough that she came to spend the night at my place. I told her that her mother was full of it, and as long as the guy's not hurting her, it's none of her mother's business who she dates. Things calmed down for a bit before suddenly escalating. Instead of simply telling my daughter it would be best to break up with Eric, X started actively trying to sabotage the relationship. Ugh. Examples include telling Alana she saw Eric with another girl, talking up and trying to introduce Alana to one of her friend's kids, and even stealing Alana's phone so that she could use it to text Eric that they were done. What are you doing, Ma? Ma! After resolving the misunderstanding with Eric, Alana had an even bigger fight with her mother before finally getting the reason why she was doing this. She wanted to get together with Eric's dad, but he wouldn't be with her because the kids were dating. Alana lost it, called her mom a crazy bee, and came back over to live with me. When I got the full story, I was livid. I called my ex to ask her what the F she thought she was doing. She said her love life wasn't any of my business. I told her I don't care about her love life, I care about our daughter. Then I asked her why, if Eric's dad wouldn't be with her because of the kids' relationship, would she think he would be okay with her breaking the kids up? She called me jealous and said he wouldn't know if I didn't tell them. I called her a crazy bee just like Alana did and hung up. Now, not only am I getting texts from her calling me abusive, but also her sister and her friends, who I assume don't have the true story, calling me the same. I tried to ignore them, but it did get me thinking about whether I went too far when I lost my temper. I'm not a 16-year-old like Alana who can't filter their thoughts from their mouth. Am I the asshole? Yeah, this poor girl. Oh my gosh. You know, okay, she's what, 16? 16, the ex is 35, so she was 19? Is that right? Is my math correct there? She was 19 whenever she birthed the child here. I think we see a lot of this today. Maybe it's always existed, but it's more visible now. People, not just moms, but I think it's more obvious when it's a mom, who feel like they were robbed the party phase of their life because they had a young child, go through this midlife crisis, and it's not even midlife yet. They go through this regret crisis where they try to recapture as much of it as they can. So it's, you can see it in the way that they dress, in the way that they act, in what they want to go out and do, and what they're willing to do to the people that they love. This is someone who regrets being a mom. I mean, she freaking called her daughter a burden, right? A burden who always ruined her happiness. That's what she called her child. While drunk, doesn't matter. The words came out. Clearly meant it, at least in that moment, and probably means it overall now. That worldview isn't going to lead to anything positive. Not at all. And it's going to lead to more and more and more and more and more conflict as they go here. What the hell? A single parent who was in this situation and found out that the kids were dating would immediately be like, oh yeah, you're right, that's weird. Sorry. Even if they broke up, even if they broke up organically, without mom trying to orchestrate this, even if they broke up organically, dad would probably be like, yeah, it's still weird. Like, think about the future. We could never be married. They couldn't be step siblings because they dated. It would be weird. Everything from this point forward would be weird. Drop it and walk away. But hell no. Hell no, she can't do that. She's got a chance to recapture some glory time here, so she's going to go for it. So the question from OP here was, am I the astronaut for calling my ex-wife a crazy bee for trying to break up our daughter and all the other crazy stuff? No, hell no. Hell no, dude. Okay, look at it this way. That's the worst of your actions. So You called her out, but she did 12 inexcusable things that were crossing the line to try to break up her daughter's relationship so she could date the dad, and has now told people that you're abusive because you called her out on her shit. Remember, when people get exposed, of course they're going to flip out. Of course they're going to deflect. Of course they're going to lose their shit. They just got exposed. Of course she's going to do this shit. Don't let her misinformation and her trying to rally her troops to her side just to tip the scales scare you off here. This is not you standing up for you. This is you standing up for your daughter. What's right for your daughter. And draw a line here that shall not be crossed. And if you waver right now and let her, or you go apologize or be like, hey, maybe I was a little bit harsh, blah, 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 that line becomes blurry. And this is the kind of person who's going to stomp all over it. She's already trying to. She knows the line is there and is just crossing it anyway. You confirming this line exists, reinforcing it, and protecting your daughter and letting her stay with you is what needs to happen. She needed to be called a crazy bee because that's what she is. If you feel really bad, just get her tickets to a singles cruise. If I didn't say it specifically before, NTA. I think I did, but in case. NTA. Ma, we'll go ahead and make it official, is straight up an ass on one. Being willing to do that to your child for your own personal selfish gain is an evil thing. It's an evil thing to do. And to look at your child as a burden who has always ruined your happiness, that's a shit person thing to do, Ma. It's like she's hit this point in her life where she thinks she has the freedom to start like partying again because her daughter's 16. Maybe she does have that freedom now, but can't let it affect your relationship with your children. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?